Okay, so we got in touch with each other, and after about 10 minutes of chatting
No, it was more than
online,
that. It
was
was,
it?
yeah.
Okay,
We
it
had
wasn't
gone.
very long.
It wasn't very long, and you're emailing back and forth through the website.
You're chatting,
You're
yeah,
chatting back and forth
yeah.
through the website, and so and like after half an hour or whatever it was of doing that, I said to Alyce-Kay, I said, send me your email address, your regular email address. I mean, let's stop this going through the dating site thing.
And you have to understand that I usually talk to guys on the dating site through chat and through emails on the dating site for like a month or at least a few weeks before I would give them any personal information, my name, my email address, my phone number, anything. But I gave it to him. I gave him my email address like as soon as he asked. I thought, oh my gosh, what did I do?
You're in big trouble. Yeah. So anyway, so we started to email, and over the course of from June the 6th until I finally went out, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on between then and now, or then and when Alyce-Kay came to Still Pond permanently. We probably spent 2 hours, 2.5 hours a day on the telephone.
Well, but before we got on the phone, before our first call,
Right.
we were emailing.
We were emailing, and we exchanged like 2,500 emails.
Well, that was in like 5.5 months.
Right.
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 So, but we're getting back to our first phone call.
Okay. So anyway, we figured that we really ought to talk to each other. I mean, talk, and
after about a week, a little bit more than a week.
Yeah, and so Alyce-Kay gave me her phone number, and I gave her my phone number.
We looked at our calendars, and it was really pathetic because we couldn't find a common time that we could talk. It was going to be quite a while, and so we set it up for June 16th for our first conversation. But before that, a couple days before that, we had set it up for June 16th, but a couple days before that, we realized I got off work at like 10 or 11 at night on Saturdays, and he said, well, how about if we talk after you get off work? And I was like, yeah. I was really, really excited. I made it through work. I emailed him, and he never called.
I had fallen asleep.
I fell asleep at the computer, and I have since learned that is a very common thing for him. In fact, I will walk in to our office, and he's sitting there at the computer, and he's bent over and snoring, and he's got his coffee cup on his knee. But I couldn't understand at that time how anybody could fall asleep at their computer. But yeah, and when he woke up, it was like 1 a.m, and he didn't want to call me then. He said he wouldn't be that rude to anybody, which I appreciate. So we tried to figure out if we could talk the next day, but he told me he was going to go kayaking in the creek, which I thought, okay, that's kind of like kayaking in a bathtub, because to me, being from California, a creek is basically a rocky bed with sometimes water going through it, and you kind of hope that if you go creek walking, you'll get your feet wet. So how do you kayak in that? And I've since learned here the creeks are bigger than the rivers back at home. I mean, they're just really gigantic.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Now, they're not real long. Still Pond Creek, for example, which is one of our favorite places, and is maybe 4 or 5 miles from top to bottom. From the mouth of the creek, where it empties into the bay and to the head of the creek.
yeah.
But it's really quite wide.
Yeah, they're very, very wide. I mean, you can get big boats in there.
Yeah, at times it's half a mile wide.
Yeah. So really wide and plenty deep.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
So then we had our first phone call. You called me. We had it set up. So I was sitting out in the car. It was a Monday. It was June 16th. I don't remember the time. It was probably like 6 or 7. And he called me, And as soon as he said hello, it was like I recognized him. It was just so weird. It was like I had known him all my life. It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
And we talked for a long time.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a long time.
It was a long time.
It was a really
Yeah,
good talk.
right.
It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Mm.
So tomorrow we'll tell about our next phone call because it was pretty exciting.